Perfect. Yeah, welcome everybody to today's office hours. There's a couple of updates that wanted to share. Two new apps in the library that were released this week, and then go into stations a little bit, how to set up stations to kind of better manage the devices that are running on your shop floor, and then a way to delete records quickly, kind of to empty out tables. And I'll share some details of why I think that's useful, and but you need to use caution, but I think it's a pretty powerful thing. So the first one is the Onshape. I don't know, are folks familiar with Onshape? It's a 3D modeling software, kind of like SolidWorks or CATIA or Fusion 360 or those. Have folks ever used it before?
No, I don't. Never used
No,
it.
okay. Yeah, it's really good. It's it's all web based, so you kind of do everything from web, but it's a pretty cool tool. But the app in the library, I've already installed it. Like every library app, I can just come in here and install it. I've already installed it in my instance, so I'm gonna open it up. And this is a unit test app, so within itself, it's not actually that useful. But it does show with all the connectors and everything how you can set it up. So if we open up the connector here, you can see here how it's working. It's getting all the elements, the endpoint that it's connecting to, and everything. So here, did this yesterday as well. Yeah, here it is. So basically what this is a list of all the documents that I have within my instance. So if you see, they match up exactly with what I have in here. A list like this in itself, it's not that useful because it's just a bunch of IDs. But then if you can select a specific one, you can imagine that it's useful if you're within an app, you want to display some information on a bill of materials, on a part, properties, whatever it is. Once you have it in the app, you can use it like any other variable in Tulip. So it's quite useful to know. You can drill down. What did I select? Oh, I selected a blob. I don't know what that is. Yeah. So if I select an assembly, get assembly properties, we get all the information of this assembly. So it's quite interesting. Basically it's just tying back. It was pulling, if you remember the list, it was exactly the same as this. So again, within itself, it's not that useful, but it's a unit test, so it shows you how you can connect to it and get data out. But if folks don't use Onshape, I won't waste too much time on it, but just wanted to share it as something that exists. The next one that I wanted to share is the Simple Checklist app. As the name suggests, it's just a really simple way to build checklists. So any checklist that you have, whether it's before you run a machine, you need to run specific checks on it. Before you start a process, you need to checks, whatever it is, any checklist, you can build it using this checklist app. So I'm just going to open it up. And I quite like it because I think it's really simple and useful. So for example, if I come here, here I can see the existing checklists. I have 3 on my instance so far. To add a new checklist, I can come in here and say 30th of April checklist. I'll click create, and here it is. We have it, and now we can manage the checklist tasks. So first we have the list of all the tasks that we have available. And if you wanted to say create a task, say dispense old oil, description for in that or something, I don't know. You can say pass fail if you've done it, yes, no. If there's need photo, I'll just keep it as a pass fail for now. It was added to checklist 2. Now looks like that one was the one selected. I'll add it to the 30th of April checklist. Oh, there it is. Is it not adding it? Oh, there it is. Perfect. And now if I want to come back in here and, for example, say I want to begin this new checklist, you'll see that all the information in this case was only one task on this checklist, which is the dispense of the old oil. Or in that shows up here. So we're able to, if we had other ones, it would all show up in the list over here. But here's just the one. So dispense oil, pass. Boom, perfect, complete checklist, it's green. We're all set. So, and then here we have, again, just the running list of all the checklists, and then we have a dashboard where you can see all the completed checklists, all the information on these checklists. As usual with Tulip apps, they come with full video describing how it works, support article. So if you have any questions, you can go take a look. But this one's quite simple. But again, like all library apps, you can modify it to suit your needs. But I think it's there are checklists that are done for everything from flying jets to running processes in facilities. So I think it's a good app to be aware of. Okay, so now the next thing that I wanted to cover was stations. So maybe the three of you are more familiar with stations, but I often see, especially when people are starting with Tulip, it's a little bit confusing to set up a station. Station, basically, the way I see it is just a virtual representation, digital representation of your shop floor. So, you can come in here, access shop floor stations, and you can organize it any way you like. So if you have a series of facilities, you can organize them on the left here as station groups. So this can be, if you have different facilities around the world, it can be the facilities. They're different buildings within a specific complex or something. They can be the buildings, they can be the line. You can organize them any way you like. If you come in here, you can just create a station group. I'll say 30th of April group. So one, I can add stations. I don't, so I'll just add it here. And now we have the 30th of April group. Now, if I want to edit it, of course, I come in here, modify it. If I want to create a station within this group, I come in here. I'll say 30th of April station. I can select specific apps to assign. So I think this is really useful. For example, say this station is in the QC department and you only want to run specific QC apps. You can come in here and select them from the list of all your apps on your instance. And then we can say here, okay, let's just put it into the 30th of April group, only run office hours, for example. And now we have it here, and here we have a couple of things. So one, we have the live preview. So I'll open up the station where I'm running right now, where you can see in real time. It doesn't matter, here I'm running them both from my computer, but it doesn't matter, it can be anywhere in the world. And you'll see a live preview of what the station is seeing. Here we'll see app configuration, so app assignments. So if you want to assign a specific app that we have available, you just come in here, select it, and then we can select a specific version of the app. We can select the development version or the most recently published. So this is all kind of a way to help better manage which versions they're running, to make sure that if the engineers are building while the people are using it on the shop floor, there's no interference. So it's just quite a neat tool to kind of manage both of the versions and make sure that there's no interference on the production. And then over here on the right, we see some information on the station. So the operator that's signed in, fired events. So if we have barcode scans, GPIO output, whatever kind of event that is being output, you'll see it here. Devices, we'll see the display device. If we use vision cameras, we'll see them over here, the time zone. And then if there are gateways assigned, I don't have any gateways on my instance, but they show up right there on the right side here. Okay, are there any questions on how to set up stations, by the way? Okay, yeah, it's all pretty self-explanatory. Once you spend some time, you set up a couple, but yeah, I just shared the link because I think this is very descriptive support article on how to set them up. So if you have any questions, you can take a look at that. Okay, so the last thing, and welcome, Patchy.
Yeah, so sorry, Gio. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, no worries. So the last thing that I wanted to share, that I shared on Monday this week, is a way to delete all table records from a table. So the fair warning, this deletes all records from tables, so please use caution. I just put that there in the little box. But I think it can be really useful if, for example, so I often see, people are like building apps and they're just putting a bunch of information in tables before it goes into production, and then they want to empty it out because all those test table records or whatever need to get emptied out. That's one use case. Or sometimes people use the tables to temporarily store data before it gets sent to their ERP or wherever else, and they want to empty the table data. Sometimes people populate this information from different sources and they want, there's different use cases, but I think it's good to know that you can do this. So here I have a quick example. So I have a table, and then I'll open up the connector that is connected to it. So here we have our table. Just has 4 records with several IDs and just some text. It's quite a simple table. So the first thing I need to do is copy the table ID. Then here we can see the connector function. You'll see that the method for this API call is delete. And then here we have the URL. So it's the typical structure for a table API call. So API v3 tables, then we put the table ID records. And then here's where we can put the table ID that was just copied. And let me just open up it in parallel. That way you can see it happening in real time. And again, it doesn't matter that it's running on the same computer. It can be in the other side of the world. And we'll delete it. You click test, boom, empties out all the records. So now, for example, this is just like the standard delete all records. But if you want, you could also delete a specific one. So actually, let me add another one. So you see here, if at the end of the API call, you also add a / and then the specific ID, it will only delete that specific ID, and we get back, confirmation 200 that the record was deleted. So actually yesterday in the American office hours, people had some questions about deleting specific things. So essentially creating a query. That's why there was all those hello world, deleting on specific conditions. And this would be a 2-step process, but it can be done. Where essentially first you run a query, and now the queries have been added to the table API. I haven't used it yet, to be honest, but you can use, you can get all you can run aggregations, and you can get all the queries, which, I haven't tested it out yet. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share this week. Are there any questions about anything that was shared so far, or whether it's the specific deleting records or anything else?
Oh, that's good. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, so that's good to hear. So maybe we can get started with the user questions. And Ove had sent one. Ove, would you mind describing to the rest of the group a little bit? And if you could share your screen, that would be great. But if not, if you could describe a little bit.
Yeah. Not completely prepared, but
Yeah, if not, it's not a problem. You can describe it.
yeah, I'll just get some of those print the documents. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it the palette list I asked you about? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, do you want me to share?
Yeah, that'd be great, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Let's see, it's a format of 4:3 that screen, so.
Okay, perfect, we can see it.
Okay. So this is how the list is now. It's not perfect in any way, but this is the content of a palette. Maybe I should pull up the one that I sent you actually also.
So,
But
and is this PDF being generated by Tulip app?
yes, it's well, actually, in this case, it's a PDF, but normally it just prints out a paper to as document for the palette.
Nice.
So it prints out several pages if there are. So it's some connector magic that Brian helped me with do. So normally you can't print. Yeah, we can have up to 200 items.
Wow.
But what we want to do, if you can see here, it's a bit confusing to see how many items are there of this one. I can't highlight it. Yeah, but it's 78,00003. We can see that in this case there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I would like to have is that instead of 1, 1, 1, 1, there was one line with 5, the item number, and then the serial numbers. And then,
okay, so are you imagining the 5 to kind of go above these 5?
Above?
Yeah, like, kind of right in here.
Yeah, can I do that? So not above, but maybe instead of. So I mentioned for you something like array and array, if that is a way to do it, like you
But
have a count of how many in the main array. You have the count of how many items there are or arrays there are with that item inside the first array. I'm not sure if that is how.
So you can certainly count an array. That's no problem. But I'm just wondering, where's all this information coming from? Because essentially what we need to do is...
It's in a table. It's in a table. So we pull it by the connector function.
So you know what? Honestly, I would like, it's kind of, I can't remember what the name of that thing, but I think it like, I would suggest leaving it like this and then adding on top, and you can add an extra page all the way at the bottom, but you can run table queries and group it by the specific one. So then if you want, you can have an extra page that says, okay, of 78,00003, you have 5 items, and you can do that using a query.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's hard to manipulate this. This is, of course, just a table I have put on here. I didn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like, I mean, is having this information useful? I don't like. Oh yeah, go ahead.
The serial numbers.
Yeah.
Well, they are mandatory to have on the shipping list.
Yeah, because the other the other thing that I like, arrays within tables are not great, to be honest. So it's not, you have to do like 2-step processes where, like, first you put it to a string, because you can't, there's no data type array, so you need to put it to a string and then separate it back out into an array. And also for visualization, it's a little bit, you know, kind of not ideal, I would say. So for example, actually, I think I might have an example here that would be useful to show you. 1 second. Okay, yeah. You mind if I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, but I just want to mention there are other items that don't have serial numbers. So they can be grouped into, if this lot serial is empty, it can be grouped into just one line that counts up. Like this is actually each order line. So here you can see the order line had 5, but in some cases they come in several order lines, and so it could be one with 5 and another one with 10, and then with this same item, and then I would like to have it just in one line here with 15. So let's just check.
Wait, sorry, with 15, I don't think I caught that.
I just see, no, this is another similar thing I have, but I think it will be the same kind of solution to it. Now, if this is empty,
yep.
I'm not sure if I have an example here, but if this item, this can be in several lines here, downwards. So then if this one is empty and this is the same, then I can just have it summarize the quantity and have it all in one line. So let's say all these were 083300, like the first one.
Yep.
Then I could just you call it aggregate or summarize the quantity.
Yeah.
And just have one line. It's just the ones with lot serial number that need to have its own line to display the serial or lot number. Lot numbers can also, if it is the same lot, it can be grouped into one. One line, yeah. But then summarize. So that is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and just to understand the problem fully, is the problem just because then this creates too many pages to print?
No, it's actually the readability. Because now they don't know, they have to count themselves how many items there are on this palette.
Oh, okay. So it sounds to me like adding an extra page, because so if you need to keep these for I can't remember the reason, but if you need to keep these here, you can have this, and then you can add an extra page at the bottom and add a table query, because it's made exactly for this. So basically you can, you know, sum by, and then you can have, you know, just sum by this number here, and then we're just going to sum up these 5.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and like I recommend, and I'm trying to think of the name of that person, but I recommend, because these are like, you know, trying not to collapse data into too much information into one record, because it's easier to kind of keep it like this and then have to run a query on top of it or do whatever, rather than the other way around, where you have, you know, a lot of information stored in one record that you need to like expand out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can test that, and it's just how I should do it, because it's not easy to print when you print more like you only want to print the number of pages that are filled in with the information. So I have there are like 4 groups inside of each other's. So to print all 4 pages with the if all 4 pages have content, then I have this group 4 at the root of the let's see, I can show you.
Yeah, by the way,
maybe I should share my other screen.
Oh yeah.
How do I can't see how I.
Yeah, I think if you click stop share and then you need to restart.
Yeah, but I don't find I don't find the control.
Oh, yeah. If maybe if I'll start sharing my screen, then it will stop sharing yours.
It says okay. Screen 1. Oh, hello.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what happens.
Okay, we got it.
Okay, now I see the control on top here. Okay, so this is the how I solved it. You see, if there was only one page to print,
Oh,
then I run print this group. If there are 2 pages to print, then I print this group, and so on.
yeah.
And then they will be added on. So if I will have another page with the information of just this group, so where, okay, I can put it on at the end here.
Yeah, exactly, because it will print it every time.
And then another one for this group here. No, yeah, no, it's the same palette. So if it's one palette, then the list should be printed here. If it's 2 palettes, the list should be printed here. No, if there are 3 pages, sorry. All this printing is for one palette.
Yeah.
So if there are the content, the number of items required more than 1 page, then the summarize of the quantity and so must be moving.
Yeah, because you don't want it on the first page, just as a summary.
Yeah, because you can see this.
Yeah.
The print list. Yeah. So if it's this was the group 1. This top one. This is group 2. And where should I put the new summarizing list?
Yeah, so I mean, is it ever more than 50 individual items? Like, you know, not individual item, like summary of like different parts within the palette. Does it ever go above 50?
I don't think so.
So in that case, I would put it on the first page, and then you know, it's also nice because you have like a first page summary, and then all the other details below.
Yeah. So I could start with it, for example.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, but I have to allocate the space for that. That is always have that space. And it's dynamic how many items there are to be summarized. Yeah, I will look into this.
Yeah, but if you have it always on the first page, there shouldn't be a problem.
No, but when I use space for that part, then this part will have less space, and yeah, I might need to expand it to 5 pages then.
Oh,
5 groups.
yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, I would expand it to 5 if it's not a problem, because the first one is always dedicated to the summary. So the people picking it have all the information they need summarized, and then by law requirements, you have all the other information following it below.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it will be better. That's for sure. Yeah, I think I will try that.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Let us know how it goes. And again, you know, I've been thinking about whether or not it's a good idea to, and then maybe Patch, you have some information as well, but like I would not recommend, to be honest, storing an array in a table record, because then it just makes it more complicated. And you know, I think it's important to remember that also one of the big advantages of Tulip is to get, you know, like you've been using Tulip for a while, but if there's somebody who's just getting started and they immediately have to deal with arrays and records, it makes it a little bit more complicated. So that for that reason, I would recommend not collapsing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and sorry, you mind sharing how? No, it's okay. I just want to see how you're doing the offset to print. Like if you open up palette list number 2 step.
This one?
Yep, and then click on that table.
Well, it's actually
Oh, okay. So it's, yeah.
So this one is not that elegant, but it's okay. Here I would only use one. I can show you the connector. Okay, it's actually this. I had a problem. It's so not printing whole pages now. So suddenly after I did something else. So I'm not sure what. But it's just long one string here.
Yeah,
so I put
you
in
know, by the way, that you can put those filters in the parameters in the body.
Yeah, I know, but it was not able. We were not able to have all these sorting requirements. It did not work if we put it in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brian has helped me with this, so it's not my.
Yeah.
This is not just me.
Yeah.
But this one is let's see, palette 1. So hey, how you can see we have used this.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
49.
And this give here's what we get. So it's the quantity, item, lot, serial number, and order number.
Yeah.
And so this is in the other one I had an offset as an input. In this one we have made 4 different connectors. Each one of them have their own offset.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think
there it is, limit.
No, that was limit. Yeah, and there is should be an offset somewhere.
Is it that one there? The
limit.
No, yeah, the 0, the quantity picked greater than 0.
It should be somewhere. Huh?
And actually, Ovid, sorry, now that you're showing this, you know, you could also use, you can run aggregations from the table API. So if you set up a table aggregation to kind of sum up by the item number, then you can store all the information in an interactive table like this, and then display it like you are with the other ones.
So instead of what you said earlier, previously.
No, it's still using aggregations.
Yeah,
and
but
using it from the table API instead.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess there was no offset since it was the first one.
There it is.
Yeah.
Offset 50.
Yeah. So each of them have its own offset. So the first one is from 0 to, and it's stopped with the limit 50, so it doesn't have an offset.
Oh, and then it checks that last output there is just to check if there are more than 50 than 100.
Yeah. Yeah, just it will be empty. There's just this let's see, 2. Yeah, it's empty. So we check for that. If it's like this, we don't print that.
And if there are more than 100, what would come back?
If there are more than 100,
Yeah.
then if I do 1, then now what is this? There might not be a pallet number 1. But it have it have this kind of content there. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah. No. It's just this content here.
But this one doesn't have that output, I think, because this one doesn't have that last output.
Now this one doesn't have it. Sorry. You were meaning.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, yeah, I was just curious, but
this one. That's
yeah.
Yeah, that is just a check. You see, it is empty if.
Oh, okay. And that's what you use to determine how many pages to print and how many to get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
it's exactly the same as this element here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah. So it's that. Yeah, you just get this field here, the cons lot serial. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Why is it there?
My guess is that it's to count how many pages. Like if there are 4 pages, then like before going to print the next one, you go and check like, is there more information here?
Yeah. Let's see. Where do I get these? Printed here, I think. No, not here. I can't remember where I printed it.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
This is so huge, this thing here, so I think. But yeah.
Yeah, no, this is great. Thanks for sharing. I was sorry that didn't provide, but I think with table queries aggregations is the way to go. I would spend some time using that, and then seeing how it goes. But this is really interesting to see how you build this. I think it's yeah, really cool. Yeah, actually, I just want to check because we only have 15 minutes left. I want to see if anybody else on the call had questions that we can help with. If not, we can continue here. But
oh, okay.
yeah, does anybody else have questions?
No, no for me, all right.
Okay.
Nothing special there.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So in that case, Ovi, if you have more questions, we can take a look. But I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything else that we should help out with.
No, I think I will try that. What you mentioned, it will at least work. I know.
Yeah.
But it's more like the formatting of the page, how it should end up.
Yeah. Okay. And you've used table queries and aggregations before?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
So, but when I started with this that was not enabled or available.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I think it's a good good way of doing it. The first thing is just making sure that it works, and then yeah, the formatting. I think if it's all the way at the top, the very first page, then it will be included in every single time you ship it. You create a PDF to ship, and then as long as it's not more than 50 different product numbers, it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I think I will just have give the whole page for that information.
Yeah.
So I just add another page and just keep the others one as they are.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. It's suppose it's not the best thing ever for the rainforest, but
no, and
but it seems like it's useful.
Tulip is not supposed to print papers.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Obi. It's really interesting to see. I mean, as you start building it over the next days or whatever you have time, we're eager to help.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Great. Yeah. So if nobody else has any other questions, yeah. Thanks for joining. We'll see everybody next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Again.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Ovi.
Bye bye.